Hey everybody, it is Liberty here, and today I want to pick up on the subject that we were talking about yesterday with limitations and creativity. If you're new to the channel, my name is Liberty. I'm an artist, illustrator, and witch. I talk about witchy things, occult, spiritual things, and also art illustration and client work as a freelancer. If you haven't subscribed already, I would really appreciate it if you did. Okay, so yesterday we were talking about the human imagination, the power within that, and also how it can be encouraged with limitation. If you haven't already seen that video, go check it out. It's on my channel. And today I want to talk about the opposite of that, embracing chaos, staring at that blank page as an artist, and embracing the infinite possibilities that you could possibly go down in your life with your work or whatever you're thinking about doing in your creative life. I like to think of chaos as the concept of having infinite possibilities, infinite choices, and nothing is in order, basically, so it's chaos. But the thing is that in order to have one thing, you will need the opposite for contrast. Otherwise, neither can exist. So in order to have a creative endeavor, there needs to, at first, be chaos. As an artist, this looks like the blank page. The blank page is everything in its absolute perfectness. And as soon as you put down one line, you have destroyed half of infinity. And it's a lot for an artist to deal with. You might have dealt with this in your life, in your career, or in relationships. Maybe you don't want to start on a project, in a relationship, dating. You don't want to start trying more for that promotion because you're afraid that you will mess up. That is the opposite of what I'm talking about with embracing chaos. Embracing the chaos is looking it dead in the eye and saying, I know that there are infinite possibilities, and I am so okay with all of them dying. It's saying I'm okay with destroying in order to create. Because if you're not okay with destruction, you can't be okay with creation. Accepting the page as blank, accepting that there are an infinite amount of possibilities ahead of you, is accepting circumstances as they are right now. And accepting circumstances as they are right now is the first step to move on with the project. And moving on with the project is going to be messy. You're going to stumble, but you'll learn along the way. And that's what I mean by embracing the chaos. And I guess being a freelancer and doing art commissions or client work for illustrative work, it really makes it easier for me to have those limitations put on me because from the get-go, there is no blank page. With my own personal work, there's much more of that blank page stare. That where do I want to go? What direction do I want to go in? What is this going to mean for my brand? What is this going to mean for my life? Like, it gets pretty heavy. But with client work, it's way easier in that regard because those limitations are already set for me. The page is almost never blank when it's given to me by a client. I actually love the concept of chaos so much that I'm going to get a tattoo of it on my forearm. I'm pretty excited for that. Within magic, there's this thing called chaos magic, and I'm not quite sure if this is the explanation for chaos magic or if it's an explanation for something like a subset inside chaos magic, but it's the theory of quantum choosing, basically. You're choosing a future in the quantum realm. You're ensuring or making the likelihood higher that the future that you would like to experience will be chosen or will be experienced. So with that being said, I like the thought of practicing magic as a way to get better at choosing the future that I desire. And magic is a craft. That's why they call it witchcraft. And so I liken it to my art and my drawing as well, because every stroke that I do is like knocking off like tens of millions of options in the future for that piece. And it's sort of like shaping or sculpting the future of that art piece. And within magic, it's like shaping or sculpting the future of my life. And because it is a skill, and it is a craft, there's a learning with every stroke of the pen or every choice or every ritual that is practiced. There's actually a lot of faith that goes into it. And I don't mean faith in some God, which if you have faith in some God, that's great. And if you don't, that's fine. But I'm not necessarily talking about religious faith or even spiritual faith, even though it can be seen like that. With drawing in particular, there has to be a faith that the end result will be better than the blank page. That a faith that the journey is worth it, basically. And in life and in magic, I find that it's heavily faith-based. Heavily faith and hope-based. Or to use a different word, trust. Like any relationship, the client and designer have to have trust with each other, even at the get-go when they have no idea who each other are. It's hard for a lot of clients, I've noticed, to have trust for designers. And I don't really know why. Maybe that's because I'm a great designer and I could not fathom why you wouldn't trust me. But yeah, it's trusting in the journey as well with client and designer. It's trusting that the journey will be worth it. And if the outcome is not exactly what you needed or wanted, you both have the capabilities to pinpoint what you learned, why that happened, and the journey was not lost. It was for a reason. I mean, the reason was what you chose it to be at the end. You know, it wasn't like a predetermined kind of thing. But if you ever hear an artist talk about, oh yeah, I don't know how I do this, it just kind of comes out, I feel like I'm the medium for this other thing that comes out onto the page, that's kind of what they're talking about. They're talking about trusting the journey rather than like printing out exactly what they thought in their mind. It's, for an artist, art is a lot more of an activity than it is to make something beautiful, in my opinion, at least for me. It is to make something beautiful, but the art of creating art is, in my opinion, why it's fun, why it's enjoyable. And the same goes for magic. I mean, that's why they call it a craft, because if you like to practice it, you like to practice it. If you like to do the rituals, then you like to do the rituals. If you like the results, those can be a great incentive to continue with the rituals. But trusting the journey is a huge part of that. And you know what? The journey can be scary sometimes. And I think that's why embracing the chaos of it is so comforting to me. I don't know, maybe I'm weird. being comforted by the fact that there will always be more choices and outcomes and surprises. But yeah, the chaos of it all it's exciting. I'm here for the surprises. I'm here for continuing to grow as an artist and as a witch. And I'm also here to answer any questions that you guys have about embracing chaos, getting over your anxieties, about making art, being an artist, being a client to a designer, or being a witch, or a sorcerer, or a warlock, wizard, whatever you want to call yourself. I'm here to help. So yeah, let me know if you have any questions. Put them in the comment section below, and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will talk to you next time. Bye!